What if I told you you are not utilizing your weapons properly in Counter-Strike 2? Today, I'm going to teach you how to utilize SMGs, shotguns, ops, pistols, whatever it is in the most effective way possible, because I still see a lot of players, even face at level 10 players, not utilizing the weapon how it should be and ultimately making a lot of mistakes that are leading to you losing rounds. Now, if you guys are here, that means you love Counter-Strike 2 content and I love creating it, so I would appreciate greatly if you hit that subscribe button and if you shared this video to your teammates, your friends, or to those solo queue players in your games that keep throwing your matches. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and hop right into it. So we have all different types of guns here in Counter-Strike, right? Like I said, pistols, mid-tier, and rifles. When we utilize these weapons, it has to be for a very specific reason, and we have to make sure that we are not doing stuff like buying rifles and giving it to the other team. Now, the biggest mistake I see when it comes to this concept is when we win pistol round, on that second round of the game, sometimes we're going to get an AK, or sometimes we're going to get a Galil, right? Vice versa on CT side, we're going to get a FAMAS or an M4. What you guys have to understand is that when you have these weapons, like an AK and that kind of stuff, against pistols, we need to be very, very careful with how we are playing. I see way too many of you guys getting AKs and then going into halls, and you're like, well, coach, I want that one shot kill to the head. I want all these benefits that come with using the rifles. The thing is, when you do that, you are opening yourself up to some very tricky situations. Because hear me out, guys. Sure, the AK is strong, but you know what else is extremely strong? An MP9 close range or a 5.7 on angles like this. And all it could take is 1 or 2 shots from those weapons at a close range to ultimately end up getting you killed. And now you've given the CTs a rifle. So when it comes to utilizing a rifle against pistols or a force buy, that kind of buy that the other team is going to have, we need to make sure that we are effectively utilizing a range. We don't want to take close range battles, and we want to make sure also, guys, that we are grouped with teammates. If we are by ourselves against these buys with a rifle, we are asking to give our advantage up, right? Because if we go into a trap setup, say we're going into B here, and all of a sudden we peek, we kill one guy, but another person swings out on us, even though we got our kill in the round, we might end up losing the round for our team because of that. And not to mention the economic problems when it comes with buying rifles too. So don't be scared off of buying them, but make sure when you have these guns, you are playing extremely safe and you are not throwing. So I've got a lot more to get into during the duration of this video, but before that, I have to give you a message about CS2 skins and how to get the best ones out there. The sponsor of today's video is SkinsMonkey, an automated CS2 trading site with a 35% deposit bonus and a free $5 for one $100 trade. They offer an instant way to get new skins, 24/7 live chat support, and multiple skins in their inventory with so many great filters to get exactly what you like. Right now, they are doing a Christmas event and they are giving out a free gift to everyone. You can get a completely free CS skin, up to 50% deposit bonus, or a free balance to use on the site. The first gift is absolutely free and you can earn more and more gifts depending on how much you trade on their site. In addition, they are also running an advent calendar. This is your chance to be entered in raffle tickets, get deposit bonus and XP on the site. There's just so much good stuff out there for everybody. Please celebrate the holiday season by using our partner SkinsMonkey. All right, guys, so that's the biggest mistakes I see people making with rifles is they're playing close range and they're not playing with teammates in these sort of situations. Also, a very big sin I see people making is hunting. No matter what round it is, they have a rifle, maybe an AK or something, and they're hunting for no reason, trying to find kills on the pistol players or MP9 players. And what are you doing? You're just trolling and you're throwing your economy. It's not worth it to kill somebody on a 5.7 even if they have armor when we have an AK. The risk definitely outweighs the reward for that type of thing. So the only time we should really be hunting with rifles is if our economy is strong and the other team doesn't really have pistols or stuff like that. Maybe we're hunting an op. If there's an op alive, it's always good to hunt. Generally, right, if our economy can handle it. So just keep in mind, don't get too greedy with the rifle. If you're going to be a greedy player, that's going to bring us on to our next category on how to use SMGs, guys. Now, SMGs are going to be your best friend when it comes to collecting money, building your money, because they bring a very high kill reward. They give you a lot of money per kill. It's very nice. You can build your economy. And you want to know the best part about it? When we're taking fights against pistol players and all these different types of people, we're not sacrificing too much, right? If we get kills and then we die, guess what? Now the other team just has an SMG, right? That's not the worst thing in the world. Sure, we don't want them to have that Mac 10. We don't want them to have that MP7, or if you're crazy, a P90. Please don't buy P90s. It's troll. You know, it's not the end of the world. So definitely something better. And, you know, I always recommend on those type of rounds where we're facing against pistols and stuff like that, don't really take the fights in close range angles. Even if you have an SMG, you're just asking to get crossfired. You're asking to get destroyed, right? So then we kind of want to pack with the team, use our util. And again, the way to use these SMGs and these, you know, active weapons, guys, is to use them as an entry weapon, because you can jump around, you can get crazy, you can run and gun, right? So when we're running with the SMGs, we are extremely accurate to the point where we don't have to hold still. So when you have this gun, please do not sit there and use an SMG like a rifle. Don't sit here holding an angle. If you have an MP9, a Mac 10, don't sit here holding. Don't sit here and hold, right? Always stay active. When I have these type of guns, I'm always moving around just a little bit to reinforce in my head, hey, we got to stay active. We got to keep moving. The only exception to that is, you know, maybe you have some crazy flank, right? So like we're sitting in boiler, we hear them all running past us. Of course, you know, line up your shot and make sure you're not as accurate as possible and you're not moving so that you're inaccurate a little bit. But definitely with these SMGs, if you want to use them properly, be really active, be up in their face, utilize it as an entry weapon. It's very good. And then do it for economic gains, right? With these type of guns, it is good to hunt. It is good to do that kind of stuff because we're trying to build our economy up. Now, one mistake I do see players making with the SMG is they're going to buy this weapon, right? They're going to buy a Mac 10 or something, and then they're going to do something like swing mid like this. Do you see the problem with this? We are taking a fight. I don't care if you're facing off against a USP. I almost rather have a USP in this fight where we can sit here and dink, 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 right? Versus a Mac 10 that one is super inaccurate at this range, right? Super inaccurate. Do you see how I'm just literally tapping? Boom, boom. And the bullets aren't always going exactly where the middle of my crosshair is. So this is something you have to keep in mind when you use SMGs, is the bullet spread is ridiculous at long range. So always keep in mind how we can get up in their face, do super close range fights, and, you know, stay active, always be jiggling, always be doing these things, which, guys, leads us into our next category, shotguns. It goes without being said, please, when we're utilizing shotguns, please do your best to not take long range fights. Now, the XM actually is kind of a beast at some mid range to long range fights, but obviously it's still not going to be good at super long range. So that is an exception. The Nova can be a little bit of an exception too. It's a little bit of a sniper. But when you're utilizing shotguns, the biggest thing that you need to keep in mind, at least with the Nova and the Mag 7, I'm going to use these interchangeably here, is giving yourself the ability to get behind cover in between shots. So with this gun, the big mistake new players make is they play an angle and they go all for nothing, right? So they sit in the middle of the open here, not realizing this is bad. And, you know, they might shoot and get the kill and they're like, that was good. You know, that was a good position. No, guys, we want to be able to shoot, because if we're in this position right here and we hit the guy for 99, it doesn't matter because we have to wait, right? I'm clicking, click, and we have at least a second delay there, maybe like 0.5 seconds or something, right? It's not like an SMG where we just hold mouse 1 and it keeps shooting, like a rifle, anything. So when you have shotguns, I want you to hold an angle, maybe be a little active with it, jiggle. You take a shot, you unpeak, and then you peek again. So you see how I'm kind of pre-firing, doing this sort of thing, but I'm always giving myself the opportunity to wait behind cover while I'm in that little in-between phase. Boom. Boom. You know, almost think about it like you're almost using a deagle. So I want you to use the Mag 7 like that. I want you to use the Nova like that. With the XM, you can be a little more dynamic. I'd still say always be behind cover, but obviously it's more automatic gun. There is a slight delay, so that can, you know, really be bad, but you can kind of get away with a little bit more with this gun, to be honest. So it's definitely something that is very nice when you're using the XM. Now, when it comes to pistols, guys, it's going to depend on what pistol you're using. If you're using a gun like the Tech 9, use it like an SMG. It is a gun where you have to keep moving, you have to keep running around, get up in their face, get really close range, and it almost is better than an M4. Like, honestly, sometimes the Tech 9 genuinely beats the M4, especially like if we're in halls here. It's always good to go super close range fights when we have these guns, because at the end of the day, that's how we should be using the Tech 9. Also, on our strats that we're running, like all the different plays we're doing and stuff, we should be doing stuff to get close range, and you should love chaos with the Tech 9, right? So like if you ever can, you know, maybe maybe throw some crazy lurk smoke here and have a teammate throw an entry flash into sight, because boom, with all that chaos, we can jump through the smoke, come through here and be a maniac. Just stuff like that is so good. So definitely don't take long range fights with the Tech 9. It is really garbage to take super long range fights. It actually, like, surprisingly is pretty accurate for the first bullet. It's not like completely, but you're gonna see the most value out of this gun from really close range. Same thing with the 5.7. The P250 is a little bit different. You can kind of use it long range, almost like an upgraded USP in a way. It's good in both close range and long range, but if you're gonna do it, make sure you definitely tap. The exception is if you're right up in somebody's face. Obviously spam the P250, but it can be a little inaccurate. It's a $300 pistol though, so what do you expect? And then obviously, guys, when we're using the deagle, we almost want to use this like a pocket sniper, right? So when we're posted on angles, we can crouch, that's fine, or we can sit here and jiggle. But the benefit is we can really do these pre-fire peeks, right? I think whenever you have the deagle, you're always going to be in a good position if you can play these cheeky little one-shot position, one-shot angles, right? Sitting here holding moto like this, boom. Playing on headshot angles is huge because you get to line the shot up really easily. But it's essentially just a point and click gun. The beautiful thing about the deagle too is it can be so good in close range to spam it down. So I think that's really good. I think the mistake people make with the deagle is at a low and mid level is they try to just run around with it, but they don't counter strafe, right? So they're running like this and they're doing you know, like holding W, doing all these things. The deagle is not your gun to like be jumping around. You should never ever jump around with the deagle. That's not the time for it. Glock, heck yeah, right? Glock, we're jumping around, just trying to be active. Tech 9, yes, very good, but the deagle is something you always want to be stationary, right? And lastly, guys, let's talk about the op. The biggest mistake new players are making with the op goes hand in hand with the shotgun, because if you think about it, the op kind of is a shotgun. Players are playing in the open way too much with the op. And also, guys, you're re-peeking way too much with the op. This is a gun where you are so it's so beneficial to take a shot and then reposition to a new angle, whether it be a micro reposition or even a macro reposition where we get info in a new space. So make sure you're dynamic with this gun. This is not the weapon to just sit here and go. And also, when you have the op, don't put yourself in corners more than you have to. Way too many players, what they're going to do with the op is they're going to put themselves in really hard positions to multi-frag, right? Like, I've seen low-level players play with the op, like right here. I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? You take a shot, they swing you, or you miss, and it's just like where are you going, man, right? So we want to always give ourselves that option to rotate out if we have to. Also, a little tip, because I am a opper, I'm a professional opper, I'd love to work with you and help you up at a high level too. So I do offer coaching down below in the description of this video. Try not to op on headshot angles. You can get away with it, and sometimes you know, you can get kills, but trust me, don't make your life harder than it needs to be. Headshot angle opping is really bad because you with this gun, you want to shoot them in the body. It's the only gun where you're like really hardcore trying to aim in the body. I mean, shotguns maybe a little bit, but don't give yourself a disadvantage to these people that are going to be like, you know, trying to pre-fire you on these angles or pop up like this, because all it takes is one miss on a tiny little pixel and you're dead. You're always trying to get them right in the chest, right? You want them to be running at you. You don't want them to be peeking with just their head. So like, be really careful when you're fighting angles like this Mexi position, this underground position. Be careful fighting angles on T stairs because it's really hard. And also, guys, when you have the op, it pays off so much to just show a tiny bit of your head, because you get to shoot them in the body and they only have like this much of a target to hit. So it's really good. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you learned something new with some of these guns today. This is a little bit more of a beginner's guide. I do offer in-depth coaching videos over on my second channel, Koja More. I'd love to teach you over there and help you understand how to become the best player possible. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs, so I'd really appreciate if you subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out. Peace out.